Do you believe that complaining will bring you down and gratitude will lift you up? Hi, my name is Benny Kurian, Leadership and Communication Empowerment Coach. Welcome to Ben Thoughts. Why do people complain? We complain when we feel there's a significant gap between an expectation and reality. Grumbling and complaining comes from a root of bitterness that is so deep within your core. Complaining is gratitude's enemy and negativity's good friend. Why should you stop complaining? Point number one, it makes you more likely to think negatively. The more you complain, the more likely you are to think negative thoughts later on. Every time you complain, your brain physically rewires itself to make it easier and more likely for that reaction or the type of thought to occur again. Negative thinking ends up breeding more negative thinking. Point number two, it can damage your memory. MRI scans show that constant complaining can lead to shrinking of the hippocampus, the region in your brain responsible for cognitive thinking. A smaller hippocampus leads to a decline in memory and the ability to adapt to new situations, among other functions. Point number three, it increases your levels of cortisol. When you complain, you increase your levels of cortisol, also known as the stress hormone. Chronically high levels of cortisol can lead to a variety of health problems, including increased risk of depression, digestive problems, sleep issues, high BP, high blood pressure, and even increased risk of heart diseases. Point number four, it can shorten your lifespan. Constant complaining is not only bad in the moment, but it can be detrimental in the long run. Point number five, it makes the people around you negative. No one wants to be around unpleasant people. But if you keep complaining, you might find your peers adopting these negative habits as well. Now let's see the emotional effects of complaining. You never try to problem solving. When a particular problem is assigned to you, instead of figuring out ways to solve it, you will start talking about the problem itself and keep ranting on how bad is the problem and enter into meaningless conversations. You feel powerless. You find yourself feeling powerless in talking about things you can't control. You feel exhausted at the end of each day. Complaining too much can leave you feeling both physically and mentally exhausted at the end of the day. When you complain and think or speak of worries, you feel exhausted because this activates the body's stress responses. This chronic activation leads to low energy. You dwell on the past. If you tend to talk about past problems that no longer exist, you are likely taking complaining to the next level. Recycling old worries does nothing to help you or your situation. You feel anxious. Complaining can elevate your levels of anxiety and stress, as negative event recall activates worry and stress that are experienced even on cellular levels. Your mood is generally low. It's hard to experience joy in life when we are focusing on what is not working. Instead, your thoughts should be in hope and gratitude, as this elevates your mood and happiness levels instead. How can you effectively stop complaining in a few easy steps? First point, nourish a positive attitude. Change the way you think. Of course, this is far easier said than done, but it is quite possible. Cultivate a positive sign on how you perceive the problem. For example, it is easy to stress over having the perfect child, job, or spouse. Accept that life is just plain messy. No one and no situation is or can be perfect. Accept the situation and move forward. Point number 2, learn to adapt. The only sure thing about life is that nothing stays the same. Change is coming, whether it is tomorrow, next month, or next year. Some life changes are significantly sad. Acceptance of a situation helps you to adapt positively to life's changes. Take up the challenge of seeing the positive in a situation, even if it is a small good. Think of the experience as an opportunity rather than as an obstacle. Point number 3, be more mindful. The past can never be changed, and worry about the future is futile. Complaining about either is a pointless exercise. Rather, move in the present time and cope only with the present situation. Recognize negative thoughts and replace them with a positive one. Point number 4, be assertive. Giving up the bad habits of complaining does not mean allowing yourself to become someone else's doormat, but you should be very much assertive. Point number 5, be less judgmental. This includes yourself. Everyone makes mistakes, and being critical leads to complaining. Number 6, be responsible. Own your mistakes, but never the mistakes of others. The first step to being responsible is self-respect. Begin by thinking highly of yourself and your decision-making process. Point number 7, keep moving forward. Absolutely refuse to allow life's obstacles to keep you from moving onward. There are people and situations that will annoy you. This is no excuse to dwell on the negativity. Remember, this too shall pass. The thing that is creating a problem cannot last forever. Most problems are temporary and fleeting. Understanding this is the key to moving forward. Happiness comes when we stop complaining about the troubles we have and offer thanks for all the troubles we don't have. Eckhart Tolle once said, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation of all abundance. Gratitude is riches. Complaining is poverty. Instead of complaining about what's wrong, be grateful for what's right. Hi, are you ready to stop complaining and start living? Good luck. Thank you very much.